before we get into any of that, I kind of I feel like I spoke this into existence. I kind of feel like I did a speak it, believe it, receive it. Alex Stein, I was wondering shortly before I went in, for the record, I love Alex. I hope, Alex liked a couple of things of mine on Twitter not too long ago. So I'm thinking Alex and I are cool, but I think I kind of pissed Alex off a little with maybe not me specifically, but I think the way the Jesse PS interview went, I think he wanted to kind of go away. Because I don't think, he did agree. I didn't ambush him or anything. I asked him if he would come on and talk to Jesse, and it devolved into a shouting match, and Jesse was a fucking dick, and I like Jesse. Here's my problem. I love Jesse. I love Alex. I like them both. I think they're both really great entertainers, but they don't like each other, and they were just screaming at each other on this show, and there was no way you could make it organized. So I was wondering a few weeks ago, I was like, how long is Alex Stein's contract with the Blaze? Because I believe when Alex signed his contract with Glenn Beck, they gave him, was it Sydney Watson's channel? Because the way this works is that Alex signs a deal with the Blaze. The Blaze has a YouTube channel that they own that they turn into the Primetime with Alex Stein show. And I think it was Sydney Watson or Elijah Schaefer who had left the Blaze, and they repurposed the channel and made it his. So he didn't get those views on his own Alex Stein 99 YouTube channel. And I was wondering the other day, just before I went in, I was like, how long has Alex been there and what's their agreement? Usually these type of things are like 2-year deals. 2-year deals, and we talk about the third. Usually what Daily Wire and Blaze and all these places do, and this was the big hang up that Steven Crowder had, why he was mad at Daily Wire, was they pick you up when you're relatively cheap. They give you 2 years, and at the end of that 2 years, you've either made a name for yourself, and they let you go because you're too expensive, and now you can go do it on your own, or it didn't work out. They didn't get what they wanted out of it, and they let you go. Very rarely do they keep you around for like 5, 6, 7 years. It's usually a 2-year deal. You make the most of it. They move on with other content. And I think what Alex's job was with the Blaze was Alex was supposed to bring in a younger audience, because Glenn Beck, not exactly the 18 to 35 demo guy. Glenn is, selling gold to boomers. I was going to say having a pro-Israel take, but I think everybody on the right has kind of, he's probably still a pro-Israel guy, but they all kind of tempered their support over the course of the last year, while the rest of the country went a little closer to Nick Fuentes and Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens. But Alex has had a show. He's done his Pimp on a Blimp thing. He's got the studio, the whole deal. Well, it was announced this week that the Blaze was not going to be renewing Alex Stein's contract. And, I got to say, Alex is taking it like a champ. He's a total professional. Back in my radio days, I definitely could have learned a thing or two about not burning bridges from Alex Stein, because he didn't come up with some cockamamie explanation. He didn't, and we'll play the clip here in a second. Alex just came out and said, my show's canceled. The Blaze is canceling me. I love those guys at the Blaze. Thanks for the opportunity. And that's an undervalued quality, I think. Here's Alex Stein talking about how he and the Blaze will be parting ways after this week.
Oh my gosh, guys, I'm so incredibly sad. This is my last week on the Blimp. That's right, the Blimp is getting canceled by the Blaze. But we still love the Blaze. The Blaze is great. The fact they gave me a show is incredible. So we love the Blaze.
What a great attitude. Which is a grateful guy. I think Alex knows that he has an audience still. He can still make a living doing what he's doing. Look, everybody loves collecting a paycheck from somebody else to do a thing where you'd have to generate the revenue yourself. Do I prefer the days when, we were making good money on 101 and the company had to worry about all the management type stuff? As much as I gave them shit for the way they did management, yeah, that was way preferable. Now, do I take all the ancillary profits of this now? Yeah, but it's way more work. And it's way more stress. And it's way more everything else. And it's the internet, so you deal with literal, like, paranoid, violent, schizophrenic, crazy people who think you're Satan or their dad, one of the two. But Alex takes it in stride. Alex knows that he's still got an audience. He'll still be able to go to protests and, city council meetings and shit like that. He's going to be fine. He's going to do great. But it does suck losing the Blaze. But he's handling it remarkably well. I think, and look, hindsight is 2020. It's so easy for the rest of us, and this is kind of unfair to Alex. It's easy for the rest of us to go back in time and look back at what Alex did and go, oh, you shouldn't have done that, or oh, you shouldn't have done this. Well, obviously, the Blaze canceled his show, so obviously there's a ton of shit he shouldn't have done. But I think Alex should have been doing more stuff with, and I'm not the biggest fan of the guy, but like the Tim Pools of the world and maybe the Ian Carrolls of the world and people like that who had a bigger audience and drew a lot of eyeballs. I think what Alex did was a lot of the stuff he wanted to do, and a lot of I'll give you a great example. Alex should have never had me on his show. Chrissy, Keanu, Chad, like he never should. Like, again, I've said it before, I'll say it again. Going with any of those Dabbleverse people, I mean, forget like having me on for my shit, but like going into another world like that Dabbleverse, nobody gives a shit. And everybody who's not one of the 500 people that are involved in that thing think it's retarded. They think it's mentally ill. They think it's arrested development, and they think it's embarrassing. And they are correct. So that did nothing but isolate Alex from the general public. And for what? A couple hundred views. I mean, it didn't make any sense. Even having me on when I was in the midst of one of the bigger, internet YouTube drama stories a year and a half ago or so, it was a big mistake. Because it's just, I'm not that kind of a draw. So I think he kind of got into the weeds with some of that stuff. I think he really had a platform and he has a level of talent where he really could have brought some big names on and made some noise. But I think the thing that's refreshing about Alex is he probably knows this. I'm not telling him anything he doesn't know. And he probably thought, well, this is what I want to do. It's dangerous to try and get in somebody else's head because you're always wrong. So I wonder, as I'm thinking this way, I'll go the other way. Alex may have thought, I got 2 years. The Blaze isn't going to renew me because, like we said earlier, these contracts usually don't get renewed. I'm going to do whatever fucking fever dream that I want to do. They're going to give me 2 years, and I'm going to do everything I want. That's kind of refreshing. That's kind of nice. There's no guarantee that if he would have had just like the biggest right wing and left wing talk, if he would have been debating David Pakman or whatever, there's no guarantee that he would have, stuck around at the Blaze. But I do think doing a lot of that really insider niche shit might not have helped.
But the Pimp on a Blimp, we got some big things cooking. As a matter of fact, I got Tim Pool on the show tonight to make a big announcement.
Big name.
Come and watch the show. I only have this episode and 2 more. So this is the final 3 episodes of Primetime with Alex Stein on the Blimp. I'm so sad. I do not want to leave it. Maybe they'll let me put the Blimp in a warehouse or something. I don't know. But yeah, I love the Blaze. But guys, yeah, it's our last week. You guys want to watch the show? And we're going to be...
What a trooper. Because it is shitty, and he's not hiding it. He's like, yeah, this fucking sucks. I hate it. He's not trying to do it was mutual and this and that. If they asked him to do the show into next week, he'd do the show into next week. This makes Alex look really likable.
We're talking about all the drama with Tucker and Nick, so it's going to be a great episode. So I'm telling you guys, we're saying farewell to the Blimp tonight. We love you. Come in the chat, and I love all you chat rats. I appreciate all you chat rats. It's been a very wild ride, and you guys are the ones that made it so iconic. So love you guys. Watch the show.
It'd be more funny if he just knifed him and just said, well, you guys are the reason I'm not getting canceled. Maybe if you would have tried a little harder and supported me a little better, I'd still be here, and Glenn Beck wouldn't have fired me. Turn on him, Alex. Turn heel. Drop the leg on the Macho Man at Bash at the Beach. Now, good for him. I like seeing shit like that because I never was that guy. I was always really vindictive and shitty. So it's really nice to see somebody rise above that. Like after we left 101, fuck, I was an asshole. I said a lot of out-of-pocket crazy shit when we left. So it's really nice to see someone be an adult and be professional and thank the Blaze and say, hey, we're going to do great. We got a couple more shows left. We're going to say goodbye to the blimp. Good for Alex.